So today I'm on behalf of two of my wonderful colleagues, Belinda, who administers the Bush Care and Citizen Science programs for Council, but does the Habitat for Wildlife program, which I'll touch upon in a second. And then Casey, who's our private land and koala officer. And we are lucky enough to have two programs here that we run. So they're both entry level, voluntary, and they're a great way to come into the conservation world, as Adam sort of talked with the more advanced programs too. So the first program that we'll look at is the Habitat for Wildlife program. So this particular program is more for our peri-urban and urban landscapes, and that's generally because they're a lot smaller, and you'll understand why when I talk about the Land for Wildlife program. But it does also include some of our larger programs, larger properties as well, as you can sort of see heading out towards Georgia and other places like that. And that's just because they may not have a large patch of intact bushland, but are really interested in supporting our native biodiversity and wildlife. So once they sign up to this particular program, they'll get assigned, so you feel part of that community. You'll get a range of different resources, like the Backyard Habitat Planting Guide, which has a range of tips of plants and things like that. And we're currently going through that at the moment and refreshing it, because there's been a lot of great programs, apps, and new technology, like the Trees Near Me app, which can give you a bit of an indication of what plants may be on your property. You'll get a native plant gift voucher. You'll go onto our e-newsletters, so you can be up to date with any of the events that Council's running, but also our partners and other agencies in the Shire. So you're in the know really early on, so you don't miss out fantastic events like this one tonight. And you'll also have access to citizen science events as well. As I said, they're run by Belinda throughout the year. I should also point out, since its inception, there's over 300 properties that have signed up to this particular program across the Wingecarribee Shire. The next program is the Land for Wildlife program, and so it's for our much larger properties. And those properties need to have at least half a hectare of native vegetation that's intact on their property to sign up on. And there's a few other differences compared to the Habitat for Wildlife program. That includes, once you sign up, a time's organised, an ecologist will come out to your property. They'll do a walk and talk, you can ask them questions, and they'll point out a range of habitat features and vegetation across your property. They'll also bring out with them a range of different resources as well. And so that will include plant lists for your property, and before then, if you haven't signed up, I recommend checking out the Trees Near Me app, because you get a bit of an understanding beforehand. They'll also bring a range of mapping products that Council puts together. So that includes plant communities that you may have on your property. It will also include some interesting habitat features like the geology and other plant and animal features that you may have on your property as well, including threatened species, which you may or may not know about. But when the ecologist comes out, you can ask them those questions as well. You also get a sign, which is great, so you can show off. It's always nice to have those signs on the front gate, because you feel part of the community as well, and people can get awareness of those programs too, because they may not know what that sign is, and they may ask you questions as well, which is really important. Similarly, you'll go onto the newsletters and you'll find out about events throughout the year. And we also have plant giveaways. At the moment, that's through the New South Wales Koala Strategy via the Southern Highlands Koala Conservation Project. And Casey's doing that biannually, and it's koala feed trees. Often it's anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 plants that are given away to a range of different properties as part of the program. And that's been going on for a while, so there's thousands of new plants going into the ground right across the landscape. And importantly, prior to you getting to those trees, they will identify where you are in the landscape and make sure you get the appropriate eucalyptus trees. And this particular program has over 200 properties that are signed up to it, so that's 500 properties right across the Shire that are interested in protecting and conserving our biodiversity. That, coupled with what Adam was talking about in terms of the Biodiversity Conservation Trust. So there is a real interest and there is a real thirst to protect the wildlife that we have here. And we have really important corridors that scale right across the landscape, but also those fragmented patches are equally important. I've just got a QR code there. If you can't scan it from there, we also have some material across there, which includes Land for Wildlife, Habitat for Wildlife information. And you can just ask me questions before we go on the spotlight, or if you're during the spotlighting, you can ask me as well. Thank you.